So today I will be ranking every single activity inside of Diablo Immortal that we should be doing every week. Some of them are better than the other, and so today, for the first time ever, I decided to rank every single activity inside of Diablo Immortal that we get every Monday. I will be focusing on basically PvE activities. We won't dive into PvP just yet. Maybe I will do another tier list for the PvP activities, but for now, let's dive into the tier list for PvE activities inside of Diablo Immortal. And again, this is going to be my personal opinion, and it will not be a fact. You can have your own opinion. So let's start this, and we are going to be starting with something good, and that is going to be the challenge dungeon. Challenge dungeons, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to farm the legendary, well, the set pieces inside of Diablo Immortal. And especially if you have a good team, challenge dungeon is something I will highly recommend. And then it is going to be the Elder Rift. Elder Rift, for a lot of people, maybe not that great. Honestly, I don't like doing Elder Rift either every week. 28 is a bit too much, and you only get one Eternal crest out of that. The activity itself is not that great, but getting that crest could be maybe A tier in my opinion, but the activity itself is gonna be B. It's just not fun for me, like every week running 28 of these, and you have to exit, enter, too much loading time, and so I will be ranking it at B tier. And that is gonna be the Hell Slayer Bounty. Hell Slayer Bounty is in fact one of my favorite inside of Diablo Immortal. You can basically turn the Terror Essences into a Hell Slayer Bounty. Saves quite a lot of time doing these bounties, so I will be definitely putting this in the S tier. And this might get a bit messier here, so let's move on to the next one, and that is gonna be the Hidden Layer. Hidden Layer, in my opinion, is really bad now. There are better ways of getting the weekly gems, something we are going to be talking about. But Hidden Layers, in my opinion, is not the best way of getting the gems, and so I will be putting this in maybe C tier. Hidden Layers isn't the best way of getting weekly gems. And speaking of weekly gems, that is going to be the Abyssal Watch. In my opinion, the best way of getting weekly gems is going to be Abyssal Watch, in my opinion. And next, it is going to be the Vanguard. Again, Vanguard, I end up reaching rank 20 charm, and I have stopped doing Vanguard since then. The rewards are not that good at all. The ultimate weapons are not that strong, and I can easily go farm some green items in the challenge dungeon. So for me, Vanguard after rank 20 is just not that great. And speaking of not that great, next it is gonna be a weekly Diablo fight. Again, not that great in my opinion. The rewards are just not worth it, and it could have been better if the rewards were better, but I will be putting this in the D tier. And moving forward, it is gonna be the Assembly. Assembly is something that you get as a shadow, and I will highly recommend everyone doing their daily assembly. You get XP, you get aspirin keys, and easily A tier in my opinion. And next, it is gonna be the Akashic Tower. Akashic Tower is good. It used to be better, but I think I'll be putting this in A tier. I'm not a big fan of Akashic Tower, but I will be putting this in B tier, A tier, sorry, A tier. Akashic Tower, I think it is A, not better than that. And then it is Castle Urban. I am not a big fan of Castle Urban, even though it can be pretty decent, but I believe so Abyssal Watch is as good or maybe better than Castle Urban. So Castle Urban in my opinion, is gonna be A tier in terms of getting the normal gems. Maybe might be better, might be A tier. You know what? We're gonna put this in S tier, and let me fix this real quick so it doesn't break. There we go. Next, it is gonna be the open world farm. It used to be really good. Now it is, I don't do it anymore. Reason for that is a lot of AFK farming people out there, and also a couple of the spots for the open world farm were nerfed. The spawn rate was reduced, and now I don't think open world farm is better than B tier, and so I will be giving it B tier. Next, it is gonna be the regular bounties. Go straight into D. I'd never do them. Takes too long in my opinion. And moving on, it is gonna be Reliquary Raise. Reliquary Raise, I do believe, is gonna be A tier. I will highly recommend everyone running the Reliquary Raids every Monday and Thursday. The reason for that is you will be upgrading your Reliquary, and you get the artifacts from killing these monsters every Monday and Thursday that actually boost your combat rating by a few points. And so in the long run, it can actually make the difference, and I will highly recommend everyone doing Reliquary Raid. And you also get 100 battle points for defeating 5 bosses. And the next, it is gonna be the Challenge Rift. A Challenge Rift for me is just trying to see how much I can push. Other than that, you don't really need to go and try really hard. Upgrades come with time, and so Challenge Rift, in my opinion, it is gonna be a C tier. And then it is gonna be the Oblivion Pillar. Oblivion Pillar, I will be putting in a B. It is not bad, not that great, but for people who spend in Diablo Immortal, for them, if they want to try and get some loot, it is gonna be one way of getting it. And then it is gonna be Part of Blood. Part of Blood, in my opinion, is really important, especially if you are in a competitive clan. They're gonna ask you to run everything that you can to try and do it for the clan. And Part of Blood, in my opinion, rewards might not be that great, but it is still gonna be A tier. Doesn't take all that long at all, really quick, and it is important, especially being in the competitive clan. And speaking of competitive clan, next it is gonna be Shadow Contract. Shadow Contract nowadays are really easy to do using the familiar, and again, if you are in a competitive clan, you should be doing that every day using your familiar. And so I will be putting them in the A tier so people don't neglect them. I know they are not fun, but I don't want to put them in the D tier and people start neglecting them, because if you are in a competitive clan, Shadow Contracts is gonna be really important. Next, it is gonna be the fishing. Fishing goes into D tier. I never do fishing, so for me, fishing isn't that great. But anyhow, next it is gonna be Normal Dungeon. Normal Dungeon, in my opinion, still gonna be the fastest way of doing dungeons, especially if you are running solo and doing one dungeon over and over again. Normal Dungeon is still gonna be the fastest way of running dungeon, but the drop rate isn't gonna be that great. But for, let's say, you're running Caravan of Echo solo, you don't have a team, or you are just bored watching something, playing here and there, Normal Dungeon is still gonna be A tier, really fast, and majority of even smaller player can run them pretty fast. Next, it is gonna be the Sanctum. Sanctum itself is kinda boring, but I would highly recommend everyone doing them daily, especially free to play and low spender. They need every bit of free stuff that they can, and Sanctum in a long run is gonna make a difference. So I will be putting this in the S tier. You should never miss this, at least in my opinion. And lastly, the one thing that is left is gonna be the Terra Rift for the weekly stuff that we get every Monday and Terror Rift, in my opinion, I hate this the most, but then again, it can give me quite a lot of their essences that I need to run Hellslayer bounties, and I do get some upgrades out of this as well. But the overall experience of running Terror Rift, in my opinion, for me at least, is horrendous. Every reset, every Monday, it takes me about 1 hour straight running 10 of these, and the experience is horrendous, boring, but I do it for the rewards. And that is going to be my tier list for the weekly stuff. And if I miss something, let me know in the comment section. And I'm signing off. Let me know in the comment section. What would you guys rate differently? And I see you all in the next one. Later, guys.